Morning, June 14th, 5:18 in the morning. It is a Monday. Glad to be out here. Whew. Finishing up, and there's a chicken right there standing at the base of where we park our bikes. There's a chicken proudly standing right there. My mom just buzzed me. Hello, Mr. Chicken. Want to see the chicken? Oh, sorry. Chicken, but he's more of a rooster. You can see him right there. He's walking away. There he goes. Bye-bye. He was standing at the base, waking everybody up. Make sure that we're all up at 5:18 in the morning. Oh, how's your day going? Is your day good? Is your day not good? What are we doing to change the day? I want to talk about something that I've been doing for, I call it 2 phases now. And I just started phase 3 again yesterday. And that's journaling. That's journaling and writing down just something about your life every single day into a notebook. And so I do one phase lasts 66 days. And the reason you can look this up is based on science. It says 66 days it takes to build a new habit. So if you've read older books on psychology and habit building, in the past they've said 21 days to build a new habit. While that partially is true, the 21 days they say is to deconstruct deconstruct the old habits and implement a new habit. But that very first phase, that first 21 days, 21 to 23 days, or 21 days, 23 days, 22 days, that's that's to break your old habit and to start implementing your new habit from the next phase forward. So, for example, I've done 2 phases now of 66 days in a row. And I make little printouts. It tells me the day of the week, and it tells me just a quote. Maybe it's a podcast recommendation, maybe it's a interview or a life story of somebody, Richard Branson, Oprah Winfrey, these kind of people who base a lot of their life off of good morning habits. And if you want to check it out, it's called the Habit Nest. It's made by Habit Nest, and it's the morning journal. And it's 66 days long for one phase. So just yesterday I finished phase 2 of it, which means that I finished not 66 days, but I actually finished 132 days in a row. So my first time I went through it, I printed it all out, I wrote in it, and then when I started phase 2, I printed out a whole new sheet. As I was filling out phase 2, I was like, why don't I just reuse phase 2 when I start my next one, phase 3, which I started yesterday. And there's something very beautiful about it, looking at yourself 3 months ago. And at least the one thing I will write in my journal is the best thing that happened to me that day and the worst thing that happened to me that day. And the beautiful thing is when you go back and you look at your old journal entries, it really kind of just takes you right back to when you wrote it. And that's so powerful. It's kind of like I'm looking at myself 3 months ago, because essentially it's 66 days. So that's 2 months and a half? 2 months and 6 days? Yeah. So essentially I'm looking at myself 2 months ago, what I was going through, what I did, what worked, what didn't work. And that's a really cool feeling. So I don't remember what I wrote yesterday, but as I wrote my journal entries yesterday, I read what I did 2 months ago yesterday. And there's something very nice about that, journaling, capturing your thoughts, and it really slows time down again, in a good way, not slowing time down and you're being idle and not doing anything at home, like how it's currently in my situation right now. No, but it slows time down, and you can kind of reflect on who you were 2 months ago. Depends on how long, if you make a journal, how long you want to come back and revisit it. But yeah, that's really cool. I really enjoyed. I like seeing the benefits now of, because I journaled for a little longer now. Some days I wrote out a lot more. Some days I just wrote down the date. Sometimes I even just forgot writing down what to do. But just to go back and see what I did, who I was, what I was going through, super powerful, super powerful. Because you can kind of look back and reflect on who you were, and then you can be like, hey, I've changed actually from that time and place. Or on the converse, oh, I haven't changed, so I should change. Yeah. And then 66 days from now, or 67 days from now, I'll reread what I wrote 132 days ago and also 66 days ago, and also fill in my new entry for that current future date. So yeah, journaling is awesome. Journaling allows you to, I like how this one book by Allison, I forgot her name, Allison something, but she talks about the power of writing it down. And one cool thought, she says, when you are able to put your thoughts down, you can kind of step back from yourself and become your own narrator. So in a story, the narrator is never worried. The narrator of the story is never excited, never anxious. Because why? Because the narrator actually know how the story ends. And so when you can pull yourself away from yourself and kind of step back and be your own narrator and ask yourself these questions like, oh, why is Jesse being like this, or why is Jesse worrying? That's super powerful too. And when you write things down and you come back to it 2 months, 3 months later, then that's really powerful, because you really are not that same person if you've continued to work on building yourself and work on improving. So anyway, here we are. Let's hit our push-ups for the day. One, two, three, four. Woo. I should make a little sound bite of all the whoos I make after finishing each set. I just realized I do that every time. Oh, it's a beautiful day. It's very nice, very blue skies. Clouds are pretty. Yeah, got that pattern in the clouds. All right, Jesse, you're doing amazing. Keep it up. Love you. Aloha.